the emperor within. There are men who conquered lands, and there are men who conquered themselves. Marcus Aurelius was both. A Roman emperor who ruled the most powerful civilization on earth, yet wrote not of war or wealth, but of discipline, patience, and peace of mind. He didn't write for others. He wrote to himself. Notes in the dark, reminders to stay calm, to stay just, to stay human. Those private words became known as Meditations, a book that has outlived empires, kings, and nations, because Marcus wasn't teaching how to rule the world. He was teaching how to rule the mind. And today, in a world that's noisier, faster, and more chaotic than Rome ever was, his 5 rules still whisper across the centuries, quiet truths that can change your life if you're willing to listen. Rule 1: control the inner world. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius didn't say you could control everything. He said the opposite, that most things, people, fate, even your next breath, lie beyond your control. But one thing remains entirely yours: your perception, your judgment, how you choose to see the world. The Stoics believed that suffering isn't caused by events themselves, but by the stories we tell ourselves about them. You lose your job, and your mind says, "I've failed." Someone insults you, and your mind says, "I'm worthless." You face a setback, and your mind says, "This is the end." But Marcus would remind you, these are only thoughts. They are not reality. He trained himself to pause before reacting, to ask, "Is this within my control?" If not, release it. If yes, act with reason. That single mental filter between event and emotion is the difference between chaos and calm. So the first rule is simple but eternal. Control what's inside, accept what's outside, and in that space, find peace. It's not about ignoring pain, it's about mastering your response to it. That is the power no one can ever take from you. Rule 2: let reason lead, not emotion. Marcus ruled millions, but he never trusted his emotions to rule him. He wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." To live rationally is not to live coldly. It is to live clearly, to act not from impulse but from principle. He saw anger as a poison, because anger blinds judgment. He saw pleasure as a trap, because pleasure can enslave you. Instead, Marcus sought a third path, the calm middle ground where reason governs passion. He faced betrayals, wars, and plagues, and yet he returned each night to his journal, not to vent, but to understand. He dissected his own thoughts like a scientist. He questioned his motives. He examined his fears. That is the Stoic way, to replace reaction with reflection, to delay judgment until reason has spoken. When the world feels unfair, pause. Ask, what is in my power here? What is the rational response? You will find clarity where others find chaos, because the one who controls their emotions controls their fate. Rule 3: remember, you will die. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. To modern ears, it sounds morbid, but to the Stoics, memento mori, remember that you must die, was liberation. Marcus saw death not as tragedy, but as truth. Every empire falls, every face fades, every heartbeat is on loan from eternity. This isn't meant to frighten you, it's meant to wake you. Most people live as if time were infinite, as if tomorrow were guaranteed. But Marcus knew, tomorrow is a rumor, so he lived now, he loved now, he did what was right now. If death walks beside you, then every sunrise becomes sacred, every word matters, every act of kindness is eternal. When you remember death, you no longer fear it, you use it to sharpen the way you live. So when you wake tomorrow, whisper as Marcus did, "This day could be my last, so let me be patient, let me be honest, let me be kind." And that is how you become immortal, not by living forever, but by living fully. Rule 4. Serve something greater than yourself. Marcus Aurelius could have lived for pleasure, but he chose duty. He wrote, "What we do now echoes in eternity." To him, life wasn't about self, it was about service. To his people, to his principles, to the order of the world. He believed that we are all citizens of a greater whole, that we are threads in the same cosmic fabric. This was the heart of Stoic ethics, to act with virtue, not vanity, to live not for applause, but for purpose. In a modern world obsessed with self, Marcus reminds us that meaning lies in contribution, in building, not boasting, in serving others, not dominating them. Ask yourself, does what I'm doing make the world a little better, or just make me feel better? True greatness is quiet. It is born from integrity, not attention. Marcus ruled an empire, but his proudest victory wasn't on the battlefield. It was within his soul. Every time he chose principle over pleasure, duty over desire, service over self. Rule 5. Align with nature. Flow with life. Live in agreement with nature. That was the Stoic creed. To Marcus, this meant harmony between reason, virtue, and the natural order of things. Nature doesn't resist. The river flows around the rock, the tree bends with the wind, and yet both endure. He believed humans suffer when they resist the flow of life, when they fight what is, instead of working with it. When you lose something, ask, was it truly mine to keep? When plans collapse, ask, is this nature redirecting me elsewhere? Acceptance isn't weakness, it's wisdom. To live well is not to control the world, but to cooperate with it. Even as emperor, Marcus bowed to the larger order. He wrote, "The universe is change, life is opinion. Everything shifts, everything passes, and peace comes not from resistance, but from alignment." So the 5th rule is this: flow with life. Let go of how you think it should be, and work with how it is. That is the Stoics' secret to serenity. Epilogue: The Emperor's Mirror. Marcus Aurelius never wanted fame. He never meant his writings to be read by others. They were private reminders, notes to himself, from himself, on how to be a better man. And yet, 2,000 years later, those notes have outlived every Roman monument. Because they speak to something timeless, the human struggle to stay calm in a chaotic world. He reminds us that philosophy isn't an escape from life. It's how to live it, fully, consciously, and courageously. And when you feel lost, when the world overwhelms you, when you doubt your strength, remember the emperor who sat by candlelight, writing to himself in silence. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. That is the essence of Stoicism. Not words, not theory. Action, integrity, calm in the storm. So live as Marcus did. Mind clear, heart steady, spirit unbroken. You cannot control the world, but you can always control yourself. And in that, you will find true freedom. Subscribe to Timeless Questions channel for more thought-provoking videos on philosophy, human nature, and the mysteries of existence.